Deep into the night, darkness shrouded the surroundings of the grandparents' house like a heavy cloak. Inside, in the cozy living room, logs crackled in the fireplace, casting a charming warmth that enveloped the hearts of three travelers: a young grandson, his kind-hearted grandmother, and wise grandfather. In this secluded corner of the world, time seemed to slow down, each moment filled with cheerful conversation, warm smiles, and the laughter of children. For the young hero, spending time with his grandparents had always been a special occasion. These 2 weeks, while his mother was away on a business trip, promised to be memorable. They enjoyed homemade treats, went for walks in the nearby woods, and played old-fashioned games. Every evening became a reason for joy and merriment, and nothing foreshadowed the tragedy hidden in the dark corners of this cozy home. However, when the 12th day of their stay as guests arrived, the young hero decided to contact his mother via video call. The conversation began as usual, with joyful greetings and questions about how the days were passing in his mother's absence. But suddenly something seemed amiss in his mother's eyes, and she abruptly ended the call. "Something's not right," a thought flashed through the young hero's mind. He involuntarily noticed small details in the interior around him that seemed unfamiliar. Suddenly his heart froze with horror as he remembered the locked door in the basement and the lifeless gaze of his grandparents, which now seemed somewhat different. In panic, the young hero realized he had to act. He hid in a corner of the room, clutching his mobile phone, and glanced at his grandparents. Their gazes were now full reflections of madness, and to the young hero, it seemed that in that moment they were no longer human, but rather dark entities seeking their next victim. Sooty shadows crept along the walls, and the young hero, holding his breath, slowly dialed the emergency services on his phone. In his ears, the eerie night breathed heavily, and his heart pounded so loudly it seemed it could shatter at any moment. Finally, with bitterness, he realized his mother wouldn't be able to come to his aid immediately. He would have to act alone. Strength of will and determination filled his soul as he pressed the call button and began to explain to the dispatcher what was happening. Each word sounded like a final breath in this struggle against evil, and the young hero understood that now, not only his life but the lives of his grandparents were at stake. In the distance, sinister footsteps echoed, and the young hero realized time was running out. He burst from his hiding place and rushed to the door, facing off against one of the escapees. He looked into the eyes of madness and reached out, resisting the forces of darkness. A moment of tense silence filled the air before the door flew off its hinges and a rescue party stormed into the room. Forces of order, summoned by the young hero, brought light and justice to this house, disrupted by madness and darkness. As dawn pierced the night sky and stars gave way to morning light, the young hero realized that his grandparents' lives had been saved thanks to his bravery and determination. He understood that in this life, like the heroes of legends, forces of evil will always seek weak points to penetrate our lives, but only courage and faith in goodness can overcome darkness. Thus ended this tale, leaving only the shadow of memories of the struggle against madness and darkness, a reminder of the importance of fighting for light and justice in this world, shrouded in darkness and mysteries.